Let's start with Bentancur, the number 4 tight end in the class. Looks like he's deciding between Clemson, Oregon, and Ohio State. Now less than 24 hours before he makes his commitment. What can you tell us about his recruitment?
Well, he's one of the most coveted tight ends in the country right now. A guy that, as you said, his finals are Clemson, Ohio State, and Oregon. He's 6'6", 235, 240 pounds. He's a mismatch nightmare. You turn on the basketball film and you see how athletic he is, his quickness, his bounce, his ability to go up. And all that translates on the football field. He's a guy you can line up all over. He's tough to tackle in space. He can obviously go up and get the football. And he'll be a big pickup for one of these 3 programs. My 24/7 Sports crystal ball is on Clemson. Clemson has 2 early commits here in the 2024 cycle. I think they're tracking for a 3rd here in one of the nation's top tight ends, Christian Bentancur.
Versatile defensive back Jaylen Heyward is announcing his commitment an hour after Bentancur at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Steve, your crystal ball is on Georgia and has been since October. What is your reasoning behind that prediction?
Well, I think he loved his visit to Athens. He's really clicked with Fran Brown and the Georgia coaching staff. And then obviously what they're doing on the field speaks to him. He's a guy that Georgia's recruiting as a guy that can play several spots in the secondary, corner, nickel, and safety. You turn on the film, the first thing that stands out is the physicality. He'll come down and hit somebody, fill an alley, tackle in space. He's got 10.5 speed. He can cover the fastest receivers on the field, and he's another guy that brings championship-level talent to the 2-time defending champs, if they land him.
Right. So this announcement isn't anytime soon, but still has several eyes on it. 2024 5-star defensive lineman David Stone, the number 4 player in the class. It's looking like a Sooners versus Spartans battle at the moment with your crystal ball in Oklahoma, Steve. But we know Stone has a lot of love for Michigan State, so what's the latest on him?
Yeah, he's got a top 10, but I think Michigan State's near the top of his list. As you said, Oklahoma, certainly another school that he's giving it a keen eye to. He's from the state of Oklahoma, but Michigan State he's been to a couple times, including a visit during the fall for the Wisconsin game. He's extremely close with Bai Jobe, the jewel of Michigan State's current recruiting class in 2023, and he's really vibed with Mel Tucker and that coaching staff up in East Lansing. Going to be there this weekend. I expect him back for an official visit, so there's no question Michigan State is one of the top schools for David Stone at this point in his process.
Ranked a few spots behind David Stone in the 2024 rankings is Ellis Robinson. He's the top corner in that class. Georgia has been your crystal ball pick for nearly a year, Steve. What's next in the recruitment of Ellis Robinson?
Yeah, well, he's going to be back at Georgia this weekend for the parade to watch Georgia celebrate their 2nd straight national championship. He was at the Tennessee game in the fall. He told me Georgia was the team to beat coming out of that visit. Spending time talking to Fran Brown, Coach Muschamp, Kirby Smart was the highlight of that visit. And his parents really enjoyed the time at Georgia. He uses the word special a lot when he talks about that program. He loves the secondary and the player development there. And Doug says it's an opportunity to be coached by the best coaches. Now, you got Alabama, LSU, Miami, Florida, some of the other contenders in there for Ellis Robinson, but he's going to visit Georgia this weekend. One of several elite players expected on campus, guys like Edric Houston, Colin Simmons, a couple 5-star defensive linemen. But I love where Georgia stands here for Ellis Robinson going into another visit. So he's someone that I could also see coming off the board sooner rather than later.
All right, staying in the SEC, Tennessee hosting a star-studded group at its junior day this weekend. The highest-rated prospect on Rocky Top will be Williams Nwaneri, the number 3 player in the 2024 class. How many visits does he have this month, and what's the recruitment look like for the nation's top D lineman?
Well, he's also got visits scheduled to Oregon. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank on what I reported on Williams Nwaneri yesterday, but I will say that I think he might be at Mizzou at the end of the month. But let's talk about Tennessee for a second, guys. This is a program that has won 11 games for the first time in 21 years. For the first time, when these 5-star recruits show up on Tennessee's campus this weekend, you're talking about Ryan Wingo, the number 3 receiver in the top 247, Mike Matthews, the number 1 ranked athlete in the top 247, Williams Nwaneri, and all these other coveted recruits that Tennessee's hosting this weekend. 30 to 40 prospects. For the first time, they're not selling a vision. They're not selling what Tennessee's going to be. They won the Orange Bowl. They won 11 games. They have arrived. Now they're selling, you can be the one player to help us get over the hump and win the national championship. Tennessee's on the short list to win a national title, and the guys that they have visiting this weekend, Guys like Ryan Wingo, Mike Matthews, and Williams Nwaneri can help them get there. Mike Matthews visited for Tennessee's victory over Alabama, saw the goalposts come down and go out into the river or wherever they put it. Love that atmosphere, wants to learn more about the program. Ryan Wingo, my crystal ball is on Tennessee for him. Williams Nwaneri told me at the end of the fall, Tennessee's one of the programs recruiting them the hardest. They got several other guys coming in that I think they lead for. Boo Carter, Marcus Guerry, and Nate Spillman, several others there in the lead group for. So Tennessee, they've arrived. They're not selling a vision anymore, guys. It's going to be interesting to see what this class does because they have the number 9 recruiting class coming in, and they look like they're going to be in strong position for another top 10 class here in the 2024 cycle.
Steve, let's hear a little bit more about Ryan Wingo, the number 3 wide receiver in the top 24/7. Will be in Knoxville this weekend, as you mentioned. The Vols battling Mizzou, Texas A&M, Penn State, LSU, among others for his commitment, but you have Tennessee leading with the crystal ball. How strongly are you favoring Josh Heupel and co for Wingo, and where does his recruitment go from here?
Yeah, I'm not sure that someone had more fun this fall than Ryan Wingo. I feel like he was at every single big game of the college football season on tour there. But Tennessee, I think, is the program that has set the bar for him. I think it's because of his relationship with the staff. And I also think it's because of the explosive offense that Josh Heupel and those guys put on the field this past season, where he's watching receivers running wide open for big gains, the way they scheme it up, the way they play. And then certainly he loved the atmosphere. He was at the win over Florida. So Tennessee getting 2 monster home victories this year in front of big recruit sections. Ryan Wingo was part of it for the victory over Florida. And Tennessee, in my opinion, has set the tone in this recruitment. He's got Oregon and Colorado coming, Texas A&M, Oregon and Colorado visits coming. I'm losing track of my visits here, Blair and Grace. People are going to have to click their 24/7 Sports profiles and read those recent stories.
Yeah, what a time to be a recruit. That sounds like a lot of fun. All right, thanks for your time, Steve. And a new episode of Wiltfong Whip Around dropping tomorrow, so you can get the latest from Steve every Monday and Friday on the 24/7 Sports YouTube channel.